Well, that was the Jungle Book.
It was not as good as I was hoping it would be, but it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It was what it was. Um, there was never any. I was never really invested with this movie, to be quite honest. Um, I haven't seen the original since I was a kid.
I remember very little about the original.
I remember it, but it's not one that I watched a lot into my adulthood, really, if at all. If I do any of the Disney movies that I saw when I was a kid, I'm more apt to watch something like Dumbo or Pinocchio or Robin Hood.
Yeah, I watched the shit out of Dumbo
Yeah.
and Robin Hood, or like The Great Mouse Detective.
hmm Yeah, The Great Mouse Detective.
For movies for that particular era, the Jungle Booky type era, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd much rather just watch Robin Hood.
Yeah, now that's the CGI remake I want to see.
See how excited the furries get. I feel
This
like he's
creepy ass CGI fox Robin Hood.
like, no pants on,
Mhm.
walking around smarming the shit out of everybody. He's
I-
voiced by George Clooney, I'm sure.
I remember when I first saw the Errol Flynn one when I was a kid, because I saw the Disney one first, and my dad said, yeah, they do the archery tournament in this one too, but in this one he's not dressed like a stork.
That is the only difference.
Oh, man!
That's my favorite part.
There was never really anything in this movie that made me feel like this was necessary.
No, absolutely not. I feel like they probably thought it was necessary, that they had more stuff to say about, like, conservation and caring for the environment, but it seems like the main thing that they did was first of all, remake the Disney version. They weren't,
Yeah.
It said at the end, like, based on the stories by Rudyard Kipling.
No, this is a remake.
This is basically the Disney movie, but they made it a shit ton darker, and then thought, you know what this movie absolutely still needs, though, is that monkey song. And then someone else said, but aren't we making King Louie like this giant Jabba the Hutt style monstrosity and
Who looks
voicing
like
him
Christopher Walken.
by Christopher Walken? Won't that be incongruous and disconcerting? And they're like, nah, it'll be fine. And so what you get is this giant fucking monkey face with horrifying people eyes saying, ooby dooby dooby doo, right at you.
That was,
And that was the only part of the movie that I actually gave a shit about, because that was when I looked over, you're like,
yeah, that was great. Like, first of all, I was creeped out in the sense that not only is it voiced by Christopher Walken, but he kind of looks like him too. And then the music starts playing, and I'm like, movie, it's a little late in the game to turn into a musical. Like, I know you did Bare
they did
Necessities,
Bare Necessities, but that fit. You know, the bear explained, like, oh, I'm singing a song, everybody's got a song, and then they kind of do it as like a montage with him and his bear activities.
And then this King Louie song happens, and I was so confused. I was sitting there like, I don't know what's happening. Like, am I blanking out and just the Disney movie's happening right now? And then I could feel your eyes staring right at me, and I looked over and kind of went like, or something like that, and it was like when 10 minutes into God's Not Dead 2, when I could feel Dave's eyes at me, and my reaction then was to look at Dave and go, it'll get better. It's not gonna get better, Brad. This is not gonna get better. So this song happens.
And the thing, like you said, they started playing like the instrumental background.
They did.
And it's, again, Christopher Walken going like, I got ears, my ears got ears, I want your fire, you can or you won't. Give me the fire. And it's like doo 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 doo.
But they don't.
And I'm like, he's actually gonna start singing, is he? And then he starts singing.
They don't call it fire. They call
Those
it
are man's red flower.
the red flower. So
Give me your flower, boy.
Wow. Like, I was just kind of like, you know what the word propaganda means, but not the word fire. Like, I know that's a little thing, but I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. There are scenes in this movie that work. the when he's getting the honey on the thing, and really, if anyone needs to be getting revenge on anyone in this movie, it's the bees.
Yeah, the bees kind of got just massacred.
Yeah, they're fucking the shit up with the bees. The tiger was terrifying. There are some really good shots where that tiger is all fucked up and scarred and shit with the black background, and it was intimidating looking.
Who was the voice of the tiger in this?
I don't know. I mean, I was trying to remember like the giant fuck off cast list from the trailer.
Because I know Bill Murray. Okay, I know Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. I know. I can't remember her name. It starts with an N. Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, okay.
Was the Mama Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really. I think this movie had the same problem that I had with like when they did Princess Mononoke in English, and that's that they got a bunch of like really, really big name celebrities who don't really do voice acting work, and so you fell into the trap of them doing the voice as if it was their own face that the voice was coming out of, rather than trying to match the voice to the face that they were voicing, if that makes sense.
No,
so like,
yeah, totally.
when during the Scarlett Johansson scene, you didn't feel like this was like a snake trying to scare the crap out of this boy. You felt like, oh, okay, this is a snake, and then also Scarlett Johansson's talking for some reason.
No, I totally feel that way about that part, because that's the only scene that the snake is in, so it's like, there's no reason for this to be Scarlett Johansson.
Absolutely not. They could have gotten some kind of snake sounding,
yeah,
perhaps, or again, a voice actor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I thought Bill Murray worked.
He was alright, but again, it was just Bill Murray being Bill Murray.
It was, but I thought it was close enough to how the voice kind of sounded in the original.
Yeah,
like,
I suppose. It was like that. I think I too had a problem with that bear because he had the same creepy, awful people eyes.
They
that
did.
Louis had.
Like, when he's surrounded by the wolves, I expected any minute now they're gonna turn into like Jacob's tribe from like Twilight.
Just boof.
Yeah. That's really what the wolves look like here. So like, there are scenes where the CGI is just fine, and then there's other parts where like, this is just really off-putting. Like, I was like, I'd almost prefer it if it was just some creepy looking puppet sticking up with like, for some reason they got like cross-eyed.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, they just got cross-eyed for no reason because they got a cheap puppet.
I got like that awful taxidermy fox where it's kind of like sitting up with his little arms crossed. He's my favorite of all the taxidermy foxes. The fur looked real fuzzy. I can give him that much. It's just, again, it's the whole movie. None of it seemed to really mesh for me.
It did nothing. Nothing made me feel really 100% about this movie. Like, I just kind of sat there like, this is a movie, it's happening, it's there, it's not offensive, little kids will like it. Mm-hmm. I sat through most of this movie feeling like I'd seen it before, because I had seen it before, and I know where it's all going, and there was never a part of me that was like, if I'm ever for some reason in the mood to watch The Jungle Book, it's not going to be this, I'll just go back and watch the original. Mm-hmm. I was never
Baloo
really
dresses up like a monkey in it. There was no dressing up like a monkey.
No, none whatsoever. Like, I was never really afraid for anything. Even in the final fight scene, I was just kind of checked out a little bit because I know where it's all going, and it never created its own identity. It always just felt like a remake.
I will ask, because since you obviously remember more about the cartoon than I do, in the cartoon, did Shere Khan like visibly bite the neck of the daddy wolf and throw him off a cliff?
I can't remember that part. It really has been since I was a kid that I've seen it. So, I mean, I remember enough about the story to where some of it was feeling familiar to me as I was watching this, but something like that, I can't remember. Like,
That's again, it's a really brutal part of the movie, but mostly just caught my eye because I didn't like that they did it.
I mean, there's always someone getting killed in these Disney movies.
No, but it's like, you don't have to fucking show it to me. I thought I was watching a children's movie, and then all of a sudden...
That happens a lot in Disney movies.
Yeah,
like
cartoon,
Simba's dad.
so it's different.
I don't know, like this...
you can't, like, make them all real looking and then murder one of them.
Oh, so... Well, I mean... I don't know.
And then
like,
there was that part with the cuckoo, sorry.
No, I just mean, like, I'm I'm used to seeing stuff like that on these Disney movies where it's like, yeah, the animal will fall into the fire, or like, yeah, Simba's dad getting killed. Gaston, Scar getting killed. Like, it
Look at
happens.
Scar, they pulled away, you saw like the shadow of Scar getting eaten by hyenas.
Oh, that was kind of horrifying.
Like even more like Hitchcockian. But no, like I guess I'm not explaining myself properly. It wasn't so much that they went dark in that moment, it's that there was so much in this movie where they went dark for no reason. And then pulled back to sing the monkey song. Or went dark for no reason, then pulled back to have like, the zany bee sting scene.
No, that's totally true. I mean, like when Mowgli is saying goodbye to this wolf that's raised him, in which should be a pretty dramatic moment.
I cried.
In that one moment, it is, but it's immediately followed up by him just kind of singing and being goofy, as if 30 seconds ago he didn't just say goodbye to the person that's raised him since birth.
Yeah.
Even like when they're at like that Peace Rock where they all come together and everything, and then Shere Khan is pissed off. I'm like, you know what? Like if the gazelles can get along with the panthers, then you know what, Tiger? Like, fucking have a Coke and a smile, man. So you got, like, your fucking face fucked up. Whatever. The gazelles are sharing water with the panther, who's probably murdered most of them.
Good.
Yeah, I was yawning a little bit in this movie.
I was yawning all because again, the parts that caught my eye were the parts I didn't like, and the parts that were fine were just kind of.
The part with the elephant was good. Where he saved the
elephant baby. That was cute.
Yeah. It would have been even better if the elephant flew away at the end. The baby elephant.
Just clutching a feather.
Cuts to some crows. Wow, I done seen everything.
I seen a housefly. Oh, I seen a dragonfly.
I seen all that too.
But I've been done seen about everything. They should make a CGI version of that movie.
I wish. Actually, wait. I think they are.
What?
I think there is a new Dumbo
the
coming out.
Awful racist crows had better be in it.
Yeah.
Weren't they called like the Jim Crows or something awful like that?
Yeah, it's their name.
It's not their. The shit out of that
it's not their fault. They don't actually. I don't think they actually call them that in the movie, but that's what they're credited as.
The one's got like the hat with the hole cut out of it, and it's like falling down on his face.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was a black stereotype that they wore their hats like that back then.
Use the magic feather. I remember when there was going to be a Dumbo 2 in that.
Like in the style of Bambi 2, where it's just like Baby of Dumbo?
It was that period where they were doing sequels to a bunch of old Disney movies, and then eventually they stopped doing that. Like, hell, there was a Jungle Book 2, and they sang Bare Necessities like 1,000,000 times in it. And so Dumbo 2, it was in pre-production. There was, on my Dumbo DVD, there's like a featurette for it, but it didn't get made. It was shut down because that was when they were like, yeah, we're not going to be doing these stupid ass sequels anymore. I can't remember what the fucking plot was, but it sounded, I remember it sounded just awful.
Dumbo has a baby and his ears are too small and everyone makes fun of him.
Oh no, it picked up right where the original one left off.
So apparently. Dumbo and his mother on the Dumbo Express?
I think so. Something like that. Something ridiculous. It was probably like an extended episode of Dumbo's Circus.
Basically, it's like Jem and the Holograms, where fame goes immediately to Dumbo's head, and he alienates all his friends, and he starts like a cocaine habit.
Well, now I wish that movie was made.
Well, I seen an elephant.
So good. Man.
So that's the Jungle Book.
That's the Jungle Book. I would rather be watching Dumbo. I love Dumbo. It's my favorite Disney cartoon. So good.
That's a surprising number of people haven't seen it. And the thing is, I love Dumbo, but there are huge swaths of that movie that I have to watch like this. Because those clowns are so goddamn mean to that elephant.
Oh, and what about the fucking pink elephant scene?
Pink elephant scene I'll watch over and over.
Hell
and over
yeah.
again.
Oh my god, that's...
Technicolored pachyderms.
Take him away, take him away. Oh man, that's how I learned what getting drunk was. And
That's
taking
exactly
acid.
what it's like being drunk.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's just you blow bubbles, and then there's squares, and then they're elephants.
Oh, that's, yeah, like a Disney drunk where you just kind of hiccup a lot and some bubbles come out. Like, the fox and the cat and Pinocchio are fucking like hiccuping, and he takes the smoke ring and dunks it like a donut, and it makes his eyes water.
I think we did that one time.
I distinctly remember. It did make my eyes water.
Ooh, so spicy.
Horrible mistake. Would you recommend The Jungle Book at all?
Yeah, if you got children, it's gotta be better than like a Squeakquel or some shit.
You mean The Road Chip?
Oh, sorry, the road chip. I lose track of which Alvin and the Chipmunks were on.
Yeah, I say overall, I feel like this is more of a rental. I figure you can just stay home and watch the original.
But the thing is, like, if you got kids and if you want to take them to the movie theater,
Then yeah.
you can sit through this. It's an easy sit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
And
is.
It's only
It's
like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, thank God.
And there was a kid in there and she was eating that shit up.
Yeah, kids will like this movie. They will. Even if especially if they're fans of the original, they'll like this one. But I think if you're an adult and you're a fan of the original,
Just rewatch the original.
Rewatch the original. There's nothing really about this that, like I said earlier, A, made me feel like this was necessary, and B, I never really stopped thinking about the original.
It wasn't like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Hell, the thing opened with Jon Favreau talking to the audience and bringing up about when he saw the original in the theater, and it's showing you clips of the original. So, yeah, this is just a straight up remake.
Which again, is that just a thing now where the directors do a little thing where they're like, thank you so much for actually coming to a movie. You could have watched Netflix, I'm so glad you didn't. Oh God, I need to make a living.
I've seen that a few times.
I've seen it several times at this point. It seems to be becoming the norm.
I can't remember the last time I saw that. Like, I remember the
For a
John
fact we
Green
saw it,
thing.
yeah, the John Green one. I think we saw it for Inside Out.
Well, that was, yeah, but that was, like that Fathom pre...
Yeah, I want to say
thing
they
that
did
they
it
did.
for Peter Pan.
Oh, wow. Thank you for
remember Peter
saying
Pan?
this. Oh, I remember Peter Pan. Speaking of out-of-place musical numbers.
See, they could have sang fucking Nirvana, I suppose. That probably would have fit that scene better, is the thing. Because King Louis, that's like a dancey fucking number. And he's supposed to be dancing with the man cut. Whatever.
Just make it a jukebox musical. It's... I mean, come on, the Lion King sang The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
When?
Yeah, when they were Simba's friends, Nathan Lane and...
Timon and Pumbaa?
Timon and Pumbaa, thank you.
No, the warthog's name was Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane did one of the voices.
Did they sing the lines? I didn't remember that part.
Yeah, they're sitting up in like a tree or walking or something, and he's singing in The Lion Sleeps Tonight. They're big Tokens fans.
How would he know that song? He's in the jungle.
They might have
Savannah.
a radio.
He's in the savannah. Well, they knew about hula skirts, so I guess I shouldn't question it.
Well, it's like how in that preview for Ice Age, it's prehistoric, but they know what mariachis are.
Well, plus he wanted a spaceship for the beginning part.
Well, yeah, I mean, the aliens, they have far superior technology.
Yeah, so maybe they gave that thing a mariachi band. I think at this point they're only remaking Ice Age. They're only making Ice Age sequels so that everyone can have a girlfriend. And this one, apparently, the sloth thing gets a girlfriend, and it's basically just... It's wearing a wig. Like, they're not even trying anymore. It's got, like, a wig and a flower sticker on his face. Like, yeah, I'm a dame.
I just want to see that because I want to see Scrat in space. Even though
The scrap parts are always funny.
Yeah, those are great. And I've seen the Scrat in space thing before when it was just a short film. That they showed in front of some movie I went to go see. But I'm like, man, I just kind of want a whole movie of Scrat in space. That seems like it'd be sort of great.
In space.
It's about time this series went to outer space.
Shall we do sequels?
Yeah.
So you missed the first part of it, but it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah, I've seen that trailer.
It looked like for a second that I wrote out of shits, but it doesn't. It says out of
Teenage
shadows.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Out of shits to give.
Out of shits to give. Wow. Surprised they let him have that title.
But I don't know. Apparently the first one was god awful, so I don't know if the second one's gonna be any good. I saw Will Arnett in it. Is he like a recurring character? In
Yeah,
this?
he's man, I can't remember his name. Yeah, Will Arnett was in the first one too.
Okay.
You gotta love any trailer that includes the line, "Well, that went well." It certainly does that.
Or like a person smashing their face against the glass, and the people on the inside are like, ah, and then it goes
tongue. Or now in this one, there's something that could possibly turn the turtles humans. So
the purple ooze.
I hope that happens and they look horrifying.
I was happy to see Rocksteady and Bebop. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, then they didn't even like jazz him up newfangled wise. They made him look exactly like they did in the cartoon with like the purple mohawk and the bitchin' 80s shades.
Yeah, they didn't pull a Toka and Rezar with this one.
Toga, Razar,
They're babies.
babies, they are babies. Ah,
Mama?
mama.
Yeah, they gotta bring those characters back.
I cannot believe I like that movie. Like, there's some
Oh, I
movies that
can.
are, like,
I was like 10, 12 when I saw it.
yeah, but let's rewatch it now and see if it still holds up.
I'm sure I would probably still get a kick out of it because 90s. I'm sure if
There's
I
Raph.
rewatch
Yeah, a little too Raph. Me.
Bad. Man, the belt's on here is strong enough for Ralph Nader. I don't get that joke.
I get
Dad.
that joke now.
I get it now.
I never got to see Paris.
Shit. I'm sure if I watched that now, I would realize all of its flaws.
Well,
but,
something I didn't realize until they did a How Did This Get Made on it.
yeah.
And they mentioned that there is not one single iota of actual ninja fighting in the movie.
Oh, Lord, no.
And it's like, I was like, there isn't. They danced them to death at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did I not realize that?
If I want to see real ninja
Hey,
action,
wait a second. There's combat cold cuts. That should count.
oh, when they're yeah, they don't use their weapons in the second one. They just like
flip them around.
yeah,
And then he throws the sausages at the retreating bad guys.
Yeah.
So that kind of counts as a projectile.
like tennis balls and shit. That's right. They're using
Next
mannequins to
time I
fight
use
people,
Mustard.
yo-yos and shit.
And then around the world.
Man,
I've seen that movie way too many times.
when I was a kid, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm sure I would realize all of its flaws nowadays, but still, probably enjoy it. Because I was a kid when I saw it.
Well, plus that movie's the reason that even in my youth I recognized David Warner whenever I saw him and shit. I was like, alright, from Ninja Turtles 2!
It's probably the kid who was like, oh my god, Jack the Ripper from Time After Time.
Like, oh my god, Quest of the Delta Knights!
Daddy, is that the guy from Straw Dogs?
You would do that, though! Okay, so Ghostbusters. I don't know, I don't care.
It doesn't, I don't really like the trailers, but like I said, like with Irving, I was like, I don't think I've liked the trailer for any Paul Feig movie, but usually I end up liking the movie, so.
Yeah, the Spy trailers were awful. No, not Spy, Heat, and I liked Heat.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't much on the trailers for Spy, but I liked the movie.
Was Spy Paul Feig as
Yeah.
well? Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, because the trailers are all like, bar har har, Melissa McCarthy's so fat. And then that's
Yeah.
not what the movie was about at all.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. We'll see with Ghostbusters.
Secret Life of Pets. I wish that they just put this movie out already.
Same here. I am sick to God of seeing that fucking shit. Maybe the movie will turn out to be fine, but even if I do think it's fine, it's still a plot I've seen 1,000 times before.
And this is the first time I've seen the trailer that actually shows the plot.
Yeah.
Were you the one that was telling me that it's basically the plot of Toy Story? Because that
Yeah.
is completely the truth.
Yeah, it's Toy Story.
Yeah.
It's Toy Story and a lot of other Pixar movies.
And then Ice Age Collision Course, which we discussed.
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I'm not really a Harry Potter expert, so the movie looks fine.
Guess who's a fantastic beast? Eddie Redmayne.
It's got Eddie Redmayne in it being quirky, so I'm down. I'm down for Eddie Redmayne being quirky in a wizard movie. Totally.
Yay! And he's a Hufflepuff. Do you know which Hogwarts house you are in?
Lord, no.
There's quizzes online you can take, Brad. The inquiring minds need to know. It's basically like knowing your astrological sign in this day and age.
I don't know. I guess I would probably be like Slytherin or some shit.
Maybe? Well, because Slytherin's purported to be like the one that you're cunning and you have ambition.
Depends on what day of the week.
So just kind of keep rotating the houses depending
Yeah.
what day of the week it is.
I'm divergent.
I took a quiz online that said I was Ravenclaw, and I went to David and I said, "Baby, I'm Raven. Guess what house I'm in?" And he's like, "Hufflepuff," and I'm like, "Fuck you." Nothing against Hufflepuffs. I
Guess
just
will
feel
have
like
to take
someone
that quiz.
saying, "Oh, I bet you're a Hufflepuff," is like someone saying, "Oh, I bet you're and the rest from Gilligan's Island."
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes. No, the ones that aren't the Harlem Globetrotters.
Or the rest from Lost.
No, yeah.
Great.
Those two that die.
Nikki and fucking Paolo. Fuck that shit.
No, that I guess that's right, that the Harlem Globetrotters would be considered and the rest from Gilligan's Island. But I was thinking more like, who are the ones that the Harlem Globetrotters fight against when they do basketball? The Generals?
It's always something different whenever I've seen them.
Oh, okay.
It's always like some local basketball team and a local DJ.
BFG.
That looked
So,
good.
have you ever read the book?
No.
It's Roald Dahl. I have an issue with Roald Dahl since I found out that he's anti-Semite. But when I was growing up, there's a podcast I listened to called the Dead Authors Podcast.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where Ben Schwartz was on there playing Roald Dahl, and he was having a great time, like talking about him and like kind of telling about his life. And then they took questions from the audience, and it was one of the questions was, "Hey, Roald Dahl, what's with all the anti-Semitism?" And Ben Schwartz is like, "Oh, well, what do you mean?" So he explained to him like there's a quote about like Jewish people exuding a natural sort of sneakiness, and even a stinker like Hitler can pick up on it.
Oh my god.
And Ben Schwartz is like, so maybe like if a young Jewish kid happened to really enjoy his book growing up, so much so that he'd want to play him on a podcast, or to find out this information, it would probably break his little heart out on stage.
Just give him some snozberries.
But yeah, growing up, like, Matilda was one of my absolute favorite books. Because, like, when you're little and bookish and weird and get picked on, it's like, wouldn't it be great if I had superpowers?
Yeah. See, I was the kid who was like, I'm gonna rent the Invisible Kid, because it'd be great to be invisible and sneak into the girls' locker room and rig a basketball game. That's a classic.
But anyway, BFG was also one of my favorites, because it's about, like, a kind of a picked-on runt of a giant and the little girl that he makes friends with.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn it was a boy in the book, but I must be remembering wrong, because it seems like a weird thing for them to have changed. Anyway, I liked the way that they seem to have CGI'd the BFG's face.
Dad looked really good, honestly.
And, like, the vegetable that he's got.
Mm-hmm. It looked Spielbergy as hell, which is good.
That one, we should probably see it in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can tell even from the preview that it's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And then Finding Dory, which we've seen the preview for 5 billion times.
I don't care about Finding Dory. Again, I'm like, maybe I'll go see it and be like, yeah, this is fine. I don't know how necessary this is.
It's Dumbo 2, basically.
I think it'll probably be better than the plot of that fucking movie sounded.
You don't know, you can't remember.
Yeah, but at least this is theatrically released, not some cheap shit they're throwing on DVD with Lady and the Tramp 3, Scamp's Adventure. Lady and the Tramp, that's one I watched a lot when I was younger.
the one with the Siameses in it?
Yeah,
Yeah, those are some racist ass cats.
that is Lloyd's favorite movie.
If you please. Ching ching chong.
Like, as bad as that was, I remember the Aristocats was way more racist with the
The jazz cats?
no, yeah, the Siamese cat in that one with the buck teeth and like was playing the piano with chopsticks and like at least Cy and Am from
Their names were Cy and Am.
they were Cy and Am from Lady and the Tramp could string together a sentence. The cat in this was like, oh, chop suey, egg foo yong.
There are no finer cats than we am. Is a line from the song.
Well, they can't butcher the lyrics.
That's not a freaking sentence. That's just words.
That's one sentence they got wrong. The rest of it they strung together just fine. Way more than, at least I can make sense of that. More so than like, chop suey, egg foo young ho from the Aristocats.
Do you remember the Aristocats back when like cartoons were allowed to be hilariously alcoholic? Wasn't that the one with the goose? Like the super drunk goose and his goose nieces who are all like, oh, Uncle Drunky.
Probably.
Let's carry you home.
There was always drunk shit in those movies. Because the people making them were fucking drunk.
Like the heartbreaking dad from My Fair Lady.
Yeah.
God damn it, girl. No wonder you're so poor.
My favorite part of Lady and the Tramp was when they were at the zoo, and she still had that muzzle on her face. So the idea was to get the alligator to bite it off. The alligator's like, glad to oblige, and then Tramp's just like, whoa, whoa, and like pushes her aside, and it cuts to a hyena laughing his ass off. I'm like, I identify so hard with that hyena.
In his defense, it was hilarious.
Exactly. That was the highlight of his day. Some alligator just about took some dog's head off.
Yeah, like the Great Mouse Detective had that hilarious drunken fellow who ended up dying because he was too drunk.
Yeah.
He got ate by a cat.
All our heroes were drunk back then.
Yes, and he had the good kind of drunk where it was just like hiccups and falling over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And forgetting not to call a certain someone a rat.
It's hilarious juice. That's all it is.
Yep. Oh, rat again. I've never sounded like that a day in my life, no matter how drunk I've gotten.
Just like walking down the middle of the street singing.
Yes. Okay, we've done that a couple times, but usually it's like, who put the bop in the bop, shabop, shabop.
Mm-hmm. Usually it's something from the jukebox. The jukebox that's in our heads.
Yep.
Let me just shove some quarters in my ear. I'm drunk.
What is it tonight? Oh, the 40s. Good choice.
Yay! I gotta go see Barbershop 3.
Woo!
Woo!
Did it get better or worse reviews than this movie?
I don't know, they're both getting really good reviews. Last I looked,
I don't think this movie deserved good reviews.
last I looked, this was like 80% Barbershop 3. I'm going in cold. I haven't seen the other movies.
Let me know how Nicki Minaj does.
Oh, I totally will.
Was there Winston in this movie too?
Yeah, he's in it.
I'm glad to see him in movies.
Yeah, me too.
We need the bish.
So, yeah, I hope it's funny.
I shall cross my fingers for you.
See ya.